Hi guys, welcome to this channel. Today we've got a quite exciting little shindig really, because we're going to be looking at a track that I've wrote as a little bit of a demo for the new Estatica library. Now I'm not endorsed by this, it's just my own personal review. I wrote this track with one thing in mind, which is, could you, if you had a small budget this year and you wanted to buy a couple of libraries, maybe one library, whatever it is, write a track, say with like 3 libraries from the Essentials range, supplemented by maybe a live instrument or 2, and then, in the hopes to maybe make a living out of this. Could you do that? Well, I think you can, and we're going to have a look at the track now. Let's go over. Okay, so here we are in Logic. Nice and simple, nothing's changed. And I'm just going to first of all go through all of the tracks. So there's 3 main instruments here that I want to talk about today. The first one is piano, the cinematic piano I think it's called. There we go, yep, cinematic soft piano. And as you can see, really simple interface. You've got some reverb, tightness, hammers, pedals, so you can change that. You've also got a close and a mix. Yes, for a room sound or a close sound, and you've also got a pad. I've turned the pad off here, but I want to just let you see how this sounds just by playing a little bit, because this has been around quite a while. Okay, so you can hear it's really, really nice. Yeah, really, really, really cool. So I'm not gonna dwell. This is a really good entry point to your first piano, I would say. It's nice and soft. There's not a lot of high end because it's a soft piano. It's just void. Then we've got intimate strings. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through these patches essentially. So let's listen to these flautandos. I'm going to add these in one at a time just so you can hear kind of what they sound like, and then I'll play them individually. Add the harmonics and concertinos, and now the pizzicatos. Okay, we heard the flautandos, nice and soft. This intimate strings, it's a kind of library that you want as a sound bed, yeah? And the great thing is that the mic placements that they've used have made it quite halfway in between a dry and a wet library, which is awesome. So let's take a look at these harmonics on their own, because I use these all the time. Really, really nice. So much detail in there. Okay, these concertinos. This is just an octave part, so this is like one of the main melodic parts in this, even though it's more aleatoric than that. I love it. There's a tiny bit of fluctuation in the pitch there as well, just ever so slightly. And these string pizzicatos. Yeah, nice and soft. And then we'll go to the end where we can hear the whole section. There we go. It was like a slow Danny Elfman there on its own. So there we go. There's the second library. So that's, if you want some strings, an introduction to strings, maybe you're thinking of maybe writing some soft music, then these 2 libraries that I've already spoken about, they go really, really well. So now let's go to the new Estatica, and I'm not going to do an in-depth run through of this. Essentially, you can go to Spitfire's website. They're amazing at that stuff. what I will do is I'll play the things that I liked from it. So these metallic pizzicatos. It's really, really nice, and it can get even more metallic than that. I've got the modulation wheel down all the way, so basically that just means there's a tiny amount of the effect that they have. I think it's actually two types of samples. I think it's affected samples and it's non-affected, and they're using the mod wheel to kind of go in between there. Now I'm going to go into this, which is the voices. I'm going to have to open this up. Resonant airy vocals, because I forgot to do that, which is very unlike me. So we'll go to these resonant airy vocals. They are beautiful. These bell strokes, so I've actually affected these quite a lot. But this is kind of what they sound like, and that, you know, this is what they sound like without anything. There's a few elements here that I have affected, and I'm not going to not show you what I've put on them. You know, at the end of the day, these sounds are there as a starting place. What I want you to do is to start to say, this is where I want to be, and this gets me 80% of the way there, and that's what this library does really, really well. It's very, very good for like atmospheric sound beds that are like almost natural, but not so natural. That's the sound. Okay, that is the sound. What did I do to it? Well, it's up by an octave. So the actual sound on its own is this. Okay, so a nice weird plucky thing that they've put through, you know, a metalizer or something. All these sounds, they're pitchy, and that is great. They're very warbly, and that's actually a really, really, really cool thing about this library. So here now you can see that I've got Valhalla that I've added onto it. I've added an EQ, taking all the low end and all the high end out. I'm using the pitch, AU pitch from just the Logic stock stuff, and the H delay, which is a very, very cheap delay, lo-fi in it and ping ponging all of the sounds. And then I'm left with a sound like this. Okay, very ambient, very focused. So then I've got this long strokes, long release, and it's a cello patch. So this is what this sounds like. Okay, so you can hear there that what I'm doing is I'm modulating between the clean signal and the distorted signal, so that at points, not all points, but at some points, that cello will pop its head up above the rest of the mix. Okay? Okay, and the very last one was cello strokes, which I just took a load of low end out of this one, I think. So here you can see load of low end just taken right out. There we go. I thought it was a nice, like, subby kind of sound. I actually think that if you wanted a tuned hit sound, for instance, you could use that sound, just roll off all the top end. It'd be a great hit sound. Okay, and then we've finally got to some audio that I recorded. I heard some whistly stuff, actually, and I thought, oh, I'm going to add a whistle of my own. And then it's been bounced down, but essentially I used the free vinyl from Isotope to add some bitty sounds to it to make it sound a little bit more weird and wonderful. And this is what that sounds like. Okay. And finally, the guitar, because I love guitar. So there's a few different things in here. There is a slide at the beginning. So a live guitar, this is. That was done by taking a pick and raking it across the high strings. a slide into a note, and then there's nothing for a while because other things take over, and then some chords. Sounds a bit pitchy as well, is because I've taken that through my boss in the modulation side of it, so that it fits a little bit more in with everything else. And then these cymbal bips are bounced in places, bips, bipsy, bipsy, bipsy. All they are is the BBCSO cymbal. I bounced it out so then I could reverse it. So I've got one cymbal at the start, one cymbal at the end. Okay, a few other soft bowing things as well, just for an intro, which are pad sounds from that Estatics, and I think that's it. And there we are. So that's it really. Nice and simple, nice and easy one. If I open up here, you can see everything that I did. It's mainly adding reverb, and there's a few things that I've taken out, some low and highs, and accentuated the highs on the strings because I wanted them to sit above. And then there's a vinyl again on the end. Okay, so this is the track. Thank you so much, guys, for coming, taking a listen, and I hope you had a great time. I definitely had a lovely time. This literally took me like 45 minutes to write because these things are just so inspiring to use. Okay, so here we go.